You can still check these the same way. This is just another way to solve a system. So how about that second one? We need to be able to add the two equations together so that one of the variables goes away. To do that, we know that one has to be positive and one has to be negative, and we also know that the coefficients need to be the same. So it's almost like whenever you're looking for a common denominator. Let's see if I can find a little empty space here. What if you had something like 1/3 plus 1/2? What would you do for your common denominator? You would make it as something over 6, right? Because 6 would be your common denominator. Well, you kind of want to do something like that here. Let's say we wanted to get rid of the x's. Okay, I want to make this 2 a 6 and this 3 a 6, and I need to make one of them negative. It doesn't matter which one. So what I want to do is multiply this first equation by a 3. That would make this a 6. I want to multiply this equation by a 2. That would make this a 6. But they're both going to be positive. So maybe I'll just multiply this one by a negative 2. If you multiply the top one by a negative 3 and the bottom one by a positive 2, it would still work. Alright, so let's work that out and see what happens. So 3 times 2x, 3 times negative 3y, and 3 times negative 2, and then we have 3 times negative 2, negative 2 times negative 2, and 12 times negative 2. Now this is 0. Negative 9 plus 4 is negative 5. And negative 6 and negative 24 is negative 30. Divide by negative 5. And you end up with y is equal to 6. Now we know y. We take it back in. We take it back and plug it back in into the place of a y. You can put it in the second equation or the first equation, it doesn't matter. So let's go in the second one. 3x minus 2 times 6 equals 12. So 3x plus 12, oh, that's minus 12 equals 12. Add 12 to both sides, so you get 3x is equal to 24. And if you divide by 3, you get x is equal to 8. So your solution is going to be 8, 6. Okay, application time. At Starbucks, an orange mango banana blend smoothie, my goodness, contains 16 grams of protein and 5 grams of fiber. A banana chocolate blend smoothie contains 21 grams of protein and 6 grams of fiber. How many smoothies of each type would you have to consume to get exactly 243 grams of protein and 72 grams of fiber? Well, the first thing we have to do is define our variables. The question says, how many smoothies of each type? Usually, not all the time, but usually the variables you define answer the question. So if it says how many smoothies, then we're going to say x equals the number of orange, mango, banana blend smoothies. Hope it's okay if I just abbreviate that. And y would be the number of, what's the other one? Banana chocolate blend smoothie. Banana chocolate blend. Okay, so we need to come up with some equations. What do we have here? 16 grams of protein. We have 5 grams of fiber, and that's for the orange mango banana blend. And then we have the banana chocolate blend, and we have 21 grams of protein, and what else do we have? 6 grams of fiber. And what are we wanting? We are wanting 243 grams of protein and 72 grams of fiber. Okay, so I tried to highlight each of the important pieces so that we can kind of organize it a little bit. If each orange, mango, banana has 16 grams of protein and a banana chocolate has 21 grams of protein, and you want 243 grams of protein, couldn't you write an equation that looks like this? 16x plus 21y equals 243. 16 grams times the number of orange, mango, banana plus 21 grams times the number of banana chocolate is equal to the total number of grams of protein. That's what it looks like to me. So then your other equation will work the same way, except you use all the blue stuff. So you have 5 grams times the number of orange, mango, banana plus 6 grams times the number of banana chocolate is equal to the total number of grams of fiber. So now you just have to solve the system. You can get rid of x's or you can get rid of y's. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. I think I'll get rid of x's. So I'll multiply the top one by a -5 and the bottom one by a 16. When we do that, 16 times 5 is going to be, that's a -80. 21 times -5 is a -105. And 243 times a -5 would be a -1215. Now we have 5 times 16. 6 times 16. That's 96. And 72 times 16. That's 1152. Now we can add them together. We have -105 plus 96. That's going to be a -9. And a -1215 plus 1152 is a -63. Forgot my y. And now divide both sides by -9. So you get y is equal to 7. So that means we need 7 banana chocolate blend smoothies. Okay, so now we need to figure out what x is. So we're going to take that and substitute it back into one of these equations. I like the second one just because the numbers are smaller. So 5x plus 6 times 7 is equal to 72. 5x plus 42 equals 72. Subtract 42. So 5x is equal to 30. Divide by 5, so x is equal to 6. That means you need 6 orange, mango, banana blend smoothies, and you need 7 banana chocolate blend smoothies. Okay, last one. Ruby invested a total of $100,000 in 2 mutual funds at the beginning of 2008. At the end of 2008, she lost 32% of the amount invested in the Fidelity Balanced Fund and lost 50% of the amount she invested in the Fidelity Value Fund. If her losses totaled $42,800, then how much did she invest in each fund? Oh, that's a little bit depressing, isn't it? Okay, so she invested a total of $100,000. That's our total amount. And this is her total losses. And we know that she lost 32% in this one. And we know that she lost 50% in this one. So we need to define our variables. The question is, how much did she invest in each fund? So let's say X is the amount invested in the Fidelity Balanced Fund, and Y is the amount invested in the Fidelity Value Fund. So this is our balance and this is our value. Now we need to come up with our equations. So looking at this, we know she invested a total of $100,000. X is the amount invested in one and Y is the amount invested in the other. So isn't X plus Y equal to 100,000? Seems reasonable to me. We know she lost 32% of this one. And we know she lost 50% of this one. I meant to say lost. There we go. Lost 50% of this one. So how can we write an equation for that then, if we know her total losses? Yeah, 32%, so 0.32 of X plus 50% or 0.5 of Y is equal to her total losses, which is $42,800. Now you just need to solve the system. I think I want to get rid of my X's, so I will multiply the top by 0.32, and it has to be negative to make this go away. So if we do that, we get negative 0.32x minus 0.32y, and then we have 100,000 times a negative 0.32, and we get a negative 32,000. So our second equation just stays like it is. And now we add them together. So negative 0.32 plus 0.5 is going to be 0.18. And negative 32,000 plus 42,800 is going to be 10,800. Divide both sides by 0.18 and you get $60,000. So now we need to figure out what X is. So we put it back into the first equation because that's the easiest one. X plus $60,000 is equal to $100,000. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Subtract 60,000 from both sides and you get X is equal to $40,000. So you know that she invested $40,000 into the balanced fund, and she invested $60,000 into the value fund.